Hi, you guys. I'm back with the Epiphany Experience. Um, I'm at work, so I will be looking down at my paperwork that I'm supposed to be completing at the same time I'm talking to you guys. Um, I just want to come on here and tell you guys don't let you stop you from walking in your purpose. What do I mean by that? Our biggest critic, our worst enemy, is ourself. Um, we get in our own head and stop ourselves from completing what what we started, basically. Um, I know I've done it several times. Um, that I've sat there and I felt like, well, nobody's going to listen to me. Who am I to get out here and start speaking? And nobody want to hear me no way. And I don't have a master's in psychology. I don't have a master's in theology. How can I get out here and speak on this? So I began talking myself out of my purpose right then and there. And I had to come to realize that people want to hear from those who have been through the same thing they've been through or something similar um, to what they've been through in order to help them out of it. Like me, when I first got saved or anything like that, um, I didn't listen to somebody who I know didn't deal with what I was dealing with. Like, how could I have somebody who's never been strung out on drugs come tell me that it's hard, but it can be done. You can quit. I can't listen to them because I mean they never experienced being on drugs in the first place. So how they gonna tell me how to stop or what thus said the Lord on that? They can't tell me because they never experienced it. And me, I don't know about you guys, but me, when I'm talking with somebody or when I'm getting advice for someone or when someone is speaking to me on certain things, I would rather listen to someone that has experienced it because I'm gonna take that in. It won't go in one ear and out the other because I'll be sitting there like they can't tell me nothing. They ain't got no kids. How they gonna tell me how to be a mama? You know what I'm saying? Or they still a virgin. How they gonna tell me how to not fornicate? Psst, please, they still drinking and smoking, but they up there, um, the first ones at the altar every Sunday. Things like that. You can't talk you walking in your purpose. It will happen every time. Um, I receive more so you all can have somebody you can see that you can relate to um, that's been through hell and back and still here. Don't look like what I've been through. They can tell you how I got there. Am I still a work in progress? Of course. If anybody lies and says they're not, then they're a hypocrite straight up because we all have to work on ourselves daily. Our flesh has to die daily, right? So that means we working on ourselves. Duh. You know, nobody's perfect, but we talk you out of walking in your purpose. Um, the naysayers, you're gonna have that. Get used to it. Um, but it's up to you if you're gonna really truly listen to them. And that's not even just in your purpose, but that's in life in general. I had to catch myself with my children a lot of times. Oh, y'all. Yes, ma'am.
I'm checking out.
Oh, okay.
I was hanging out.
You went
16.
y'all getting out here early, huh?
Now I have to work.
I feel you. I feel you.
Okay.
All right, Miss Alexandria.
Thank you.
You have a good one. We'll see y'all next time, okay?
All right.
Sorry about that, you guys, but you know I'm at work, so sorry about that. But like I said, even in my personal life, even with my children, um, I did things that I didn't know I was doing. I was doing it subconsciously. Um, I was talking them. I caught myself talking them out of their purpose, you know, um, because they were listening to what I was saying. For example, my oldest child, he looks exactly like his sperm donor. I mean, split image. And for those of you who know me and know his sperm donor, you know I ain't lying. But he looks exactly like him. And I have caught myself before um, talking to him like I was talking to their sperm donor because he would do he had certain mannerisms just like them. And because I don't like um, their sperm donor, FYI, their sperm donor is their biological father who has never taken care of them. So that's why he's called a sperm donor. And it is what it is. So I would say, don't do that. You acting just like him. You don't need to be like him. You need to be better than him. Stop doing that. Blah, blah, blah. My child didn't understand at the time that, hey, you know, I had this stuff pent up in me. And when I looked at my son, all I could see was their sperm donor. So because that's all I could see, that's all I came to him, my son, with. I was like, oh no, you're not gonna be like him. Oh no, you're not gonna be no bomb. Oh no, oh no. But the whole time I was saying that I was saying, and I'm his mother. And I had to catch myself with that because I didn't realize it until somebody did it to me. And I was online and I just so happened to come across this broadcast, and this preacher was talking about the very same thing, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And then I had a sister from the church. She came and told me something she heard from a preacher about how he was treating his son, and it hit me, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm talking him at his purpose. So he began to believe everything I was saying about him, which led him to walk in what I was saying because he believed it. And not only did he believe what I was saying, he believed what everybody else was saying. So I had to change my words towards him. Because power, of life lies in our tongue. If you want life, speak life. Death, you speak it. And I was speaking it to my child, didn't know it. Didn't know it. So I had to catch myself on that. And I sometimes I have to catch myself on speaking death towards my vision, towards my purpose. But for me doing these videos or talking to different people about, what they're going through depression, being a widow, a single parent, things like that that I know about firsthand. Sometimes I, get intimidated because I'm like, should I say this? Should I say that? And I know what my purpose is. I know what God told me, but I let myself talk myself out of walking in my purpose. So I let somebody go who I was probably supposed to talk to, but because I was talking myself out of it because I didn't believe in myself, that person went on, and God knows what happened just because I wasn't obedient and I was intimidated, I was afraid, I was scared. I was talking myself out of my purpose. Don't do that. because there's somebody out here that needs to hear your story from you, not from your brother, your sister, your children, but from you. It's people out here that are waiting on you. You know, they won't make it without you. You are that person that's going to break that stronghold for them. You're the person that's going to help bring them to the epiphany experience. You have to not let yourself talk yourself out of your purpose, because your purpose is for somebody else. And if you don't catch on to that, and if you keep living in fear and being afraid of what other people think, then you're not going to do what you were put on earth to do in the first place. And that's just keeping it real. I used to care all the time when people thought about me, and I still struggle with that. Do they like me? Are they going to like what I have to say? Around. I'm not used to being in front of nothing. Everything I've always did has been behind closed doors. Never got any credit for anything, nothing like that. Um, Never really show people my talent, none of that, because I'm used to being behind everybody. So if you're used to being behind in the back, you're not used to speaking up in the first place. You're used to letting things roll with the punches or go with the flow. That's what you're used to doing. And whatever happens, you're like, okay, I'll take that, because you're not used to being on the front line. So now that I'm on the front line, I'm learning a lot about myself. That all this time, because listening to what other people said and letting that stop me, because I kept playing it over and over and over again in my head. Oh, she's a single parent with 3 kids. How's she gonna do this? How's she gonna raise boys by herself with no help? Oh, her husband dead. Oh, now she ain't gonna make it. Now he took care of her. Oh, she smoked crack. I mean, how she gonna come out of that? Oh, she suffered from depression. She was on medication and it had her drug. She gonna come over that. Oh, she was homeless. Her and her kids living outside in abandoned houses. How they gonna jump back from that? They're nobody because they have nothing. They're nobody because they had to start over. But I'm here to tell you that all those things that you go through in life, and I'm talking to myself as well, helps make you the great person that you are right now today. You got to go through to get through. You got to go through tests to have a testimony, because your testimony is what's going to pull people. If you never go through nothing, then hey, how you going to help somebody? You can't. There's no way. No way. No way. No way. And I'm just me. I'm just going to be me. I don't know who else to be. I'm not one of those that preaches from the Bible. I'm not a preacher. I'm just somebody here to do what I was called to do. And that was to help people like me that's used to being in the shadows come out of the darkness into the light straight up. That's what I'm here for. No other reason. I just believe in the people that were cast out. I believe in the black sheep, because I was the black sheep and probably still am, but I don't care now. That's the difference. I don't care. You know, I'm going to walk it out. I'm going to walk this thing out, because there's a purpose and a calling on me and you. So what you going to do? Sit back and let yourself talk you out of walking in your purpose. You're going to miss a lot if you do that. I know it's kind of shaky sometimes and kind of iffy sometimes. And you're like, if I do this, what's going to happen? That's talking yourself out of your purpose. Ain't no what if. Ain't no should, coulda, woulda. Just do it. Because I tell you, if God keep waking you up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with the same vision, the same dreams, everywhere you go, you get confirmation on the same thing. That means you the one procrastinating. You the one taking your time. He done already laid it out for you. It's up to you to walk it out. I'm not gonna tell you it's not gonna be trials and mountains and valleys, because it is. It is. But once we make it through that, it'll be so worth it. So just stop talking yourself out of your purpose. and walk it out. We can walk it out together. That's what I'm doing now. I'm walking it out. I pray for strength every day to not let myself talk myself out of things. Because I'll go back to thinking, well, maybe I'm not good enough. And that's what the enemy wants us to do, to go back to thinking that we're not good enough. And then he's like, aha, I got you. You thinking you're not good enough, that's where it starts at right here. So I got you. But we want to serve him notice and tell him he's a liar. We are more than conquerors. We're the head, we're not the tail. We're above, we're not beneath. We finna get out the darkness. We're not in the shadow. We stepping into the light. You know that God is a lamp unto our footsteps. The light. He'll show us if we want to know. And if you're around people and you tell somebody your vision or your dream, or say, oh, I want to start doing this, I know I can do it, and this and that, and they start talking against it, or start saying, oh, you ain't got enough money, or how you gonna pull it off? Don't nobody know you, or you know, you don't have this, how you gonna work that, or you don't look this way, how you gonna do this, or how you gonna be that? Hear them get from around them, because they gonna beat you, talking you out of your purpose. You gotta watch that. You gotta watch who you share your vision with. That was a hard one for me because I still have to learn how to keep my mouth shut. I be wanting to shout from the rooftop when things happen to me, or when God shows me something, or when he says do this, but I cannot tell everything. I can't tell everything. I can't, because just as well as we believe that there are people praying for us to make it, there are people praying against us to fail. I welcome all my haters. Hey, nothing new. Nothing new. I've had people think that I wasn't gonna be nothing most of my life. I could probably count on one hand how many times me growing up that I actually heard I'm proud of you. I'm not saying anything mean or bad or anything about my parents or my family or anything, but I'm just keeping it real. So from a young age, I started letting myself talk myself out of my purpose because I didn't know how to feel. I didn't get, what other families would, give their children, as far as I had to love myself the best way I knew how. So while I was trying to do that, I lost myself a little bit, but I'm back. And I'm back here in the flesh. Tell you guys you can make it no matter what. Do not let you talk yourself out of your purpose. Let's do this thing. 2019 coming up, baby. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great, and I'm ready. Move out